Okay, it's August. It's actually August for only about one more day, which means we're leading into September, which means now is the time that we start talking about the Academy Awards. Yes, if you followed Pop last year, you would see that we did a lot of videos about the various award shows. We even talked about the Spirit Awards and the BAFTAs and all points in between. So, AJ, you have a tradition.
Apparently.
Okay, fine. You had a tradition that we're going to continue to carry on here on Pop, where you would take the big 6 categories of the... I thought it was 6.
8.
Oh, okay, I maybe I'm missing the big 8. Like I said, Owen can't do math. You know that.
Picture, director, the screenplays, and the 4 acting categories.
Okay, I've been saying big 6 because Owen can't do math. So yeah, the big 8 categories of the Academy Awards, and we would give predictions every single month leading up to the actual predictions, the actual awards, when their nominations are announced. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
And the point of this is
just to see
there are people who have their predictions absolutely locked right now. And those people are dumbasses who clearly don't learn their lessons every single year.
Nope.
The point of this is to show the progression of how the predictions will change.
Correct.
We're not saying this will absolutely happen.
A lot of these will not change, but there's some that will.
Or maybe they will.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
The interesting thing is, 2011 was a fun year to do this. Because everybody was all over Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close, Gary Oldman, and The Ides of March.
Correct. I was big on The Ides of March.
So in August, we were saying that. But then when it came time to, November and December, those were long gone.
Yep.
But then when the nominations actually came out, Extremely Loud, Gary Oldman, and The Ides of March came back.
Correct. Very true. So that's what we have here. So what we're going to do is, this is August's video. We're going to have one in September, which will be a couple days after October, because obviously I wouldn't be home in September. Everyone knows that. So we'll do that, and then we'll do one at the end of October as well. We'll do one in November, we'll do one in December, and that'll be the final one.
Another thing that makes this interesting to do throughout the months is to see how they change after we see the movies as they progressively come out.
Because almost nothing on my list is something I've seen.
Because, I'm trying to think of an example. I'll just use a hypothetical example.
Okay.
Let's say you were thinking Gravity was gonna sweep everything.
Yes.
And then it comes out October 4th, and you see Gravity on October 4th, and after you see it, you're like, well, that's not getting shit. And
very true.
It could just disappear.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
According to early reaction, that probably won't happen. I'm just using it as an example.
Well, we'll see what happens as we go along. So just like with the best of the half year, the worst of the half year, and the most anticipated video, which made me look like a total idiot, I don't want to do that this time around. So I've got notations, just like the notes I always do for my wrestling recaps. So, cheap plug. So I will hand it to AJ first. He's going to give his, and then I'm going to give mine, and then we're going to give our reasoning for which. And obviously, he's a lot more of a award show scholar than I am, or ever will be. So I'm going to have to turn it over to him on several occasions so I can explain why I made what may seem by some people's admissions as a bonehead decision, even in August, on some of these predictions.
In August, a lot of these will probably look like bonehead predictions towards the end of the thing, but
we'll see.
We'll be fine. We're going to start with Adapted Screenplay.
Alright, Adapted Screenplay.
I have 12 Years a Slave, August Osage County, Captain Phillips, Labor Day, and The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
I've got to be honest with you. I've actually read 2 of these. I read Labor Day and The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Labor Day is so well written, and it's like a beautiful script. And I love it's actually making the rounds now since more people are reading it. There is a scene heading that shows you how ambitious Jason Reitman is. It's the scene where Brolin teaches them how to make pie, a peach pie. And in the scene heading where it normally says interior house or exterior yard or whatever, the scene heading is the greatest pie making scene in movie history.
I remember you telling me about that.
And I also read the book it's based off. And I gotta be honest, the only one, well, Captain Phillips and August seem kind of
Interchangeable.
They could go one way or the other. They could do really well in award season, or they could disappear.
Okay.
To be honest, The Wolf of Wall Street's the one I'm not sure about. But like I said, with my history, I tend to not predict the movies I want to do well.
Yes. Because if you do the opposite, they lose.
Then I'm happily surprised later if they get in. And I have a lot of hope for The Wolf of Wall Street, so...
Christoph Waltz in Django last year is the big prime example of that. And
12 years,
Tarantino in Screenplay last year, too.
12 Years a Slave's reactions are coming out today, and they're very, very positive, so I'm probably going to be confident in it for a while. So, there's that.
Okay, we are not much different on our predictions. There is one that I did not predict. Two I did predict that you didn't. I did not go with Labor Day. As a matter of fact, I obviously have not read the script, so I don't know anything about it. I do have faith in Jason Reitman, and I'm pretty sure that it could be a very well-done piece of art. But I did not nominate it. I thought about nominating it, but I didn't. And I also did not nominate Captain Phillips. Tom Hanks is on my list, but it's not for this movie. But we'll talk about that later on. But come on, you guys have to know that's where it's going to come from. But no, I do have a lot of hope in Captain Phillips. It looks amazing. Every time I see that same trailer I had to put on things all the time, I very much enjoy it. I very am excited about the movie. But that's not the direction I went, and I'm also going to call myself a hypocrite because I did something I never thought I would do. And I'll talk about that in a minute. My list for adapted screenplay is August Osage County, The Wolf of Wall Street. I put The Monuments Men in that list. 12 Years a Slave, and I think I got all of these on here. Did I say 4? I can't do math.
What's the last one?
My last one is, you made something clear to me that it's very true. And as much as I hate to do this, I have to do it because of the law of averages. Even though last year completely blew that out of the water, I have to go with something foreign. So my 5th is Blue is the Warmest Color.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, so I can't really say anything about it. So I went with it based on the fact that AJ made it perfectly clear, and it makes sense. There's always that one completely outside the box nomination in screenplay, both adapted and original.
Sometimes it happens a couple of times a year.
Yeah, exactly. And even sometimes in animated. That's how Chico and Rita got nominated, and The Cat in Paris, stuff like that we never would think would get nominated in other years. But yeah, I'm going to go with that, not because necessarily I want it to go. I'm going it based on precursors and what people are predicting and the so-called experts. I have a lot of faith in August. I have a lot of faith in The Wolf of Wall Street. I have continuing faith in 12 Years a Slave the more I hear about it. And like you said, the early buzz is very good.
I can confirm that The Wolf of Wall Street is written by Terrence Winter, who's the creator of Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
And I've read the script, and the script is awesome.
I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be awesome. And
but it's just the Academy's taste thing. My
Monuments Men one, that's the one that I'm kind of confused about. I don't know how much love I want to give to that movie, but I did anyway. So.
I debated it. There was that rumor that Sony wasn't going to push it for awards.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But apparently that was proven false.
That's good. So yeah, no annotation of this video, by the way, too, because we don't have that much time. So, AJ, we're going to move on from adapted to original screenplay.
I'm not confident in these.
I'm extremely confident in all 5 of these.
Mine are American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Fruitvale Station, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Rush.
Okay.
I have read 3. I've read 3 of these, and I've seen the other 2 movies. The one I really thought could possibly be here that I actually wrote it down and then I crossed it off was All Is Lost. Because J.C. Schindler actually got in for...
Margin Call.
Yeah. And this is a movie that's he went from Margin Call, which is all dialogue, to All Is Lost, which is no dialogue. And I'm wondering how that's going to go. But of these, if there was one I have the least confidence in, it's probably Rush. But at the same time, I'm hearing a lot lately, and it seems to make more and more sense, that people might be underestimating Rush because I've read the script now, and it is not going to be the movie that people think it is.
No.
It's not this adrenaline-fueled hardcore racing movie. It's, obviously, it's one of those true story movies.
It's a character story.
And it's Peter Morgan. They love Peter Morgan. He did Frost Nixon and the Queen.
And Ron Howard, too, so there's good reasoning for picking Rush.
What do you have?
Again, we are definitely splitting the vote here. My original screenplay lineup is American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Inside Llewyn Davis. I'm actually running Nebraska and Saving Mr. Banks.
There was actually a controversy with Inside Llewyn Davis. Apparently it's based on like a memoir or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the Coen brothers said it can. It's strictly original, so that's how it's going to run.
To be totally honest, the reason I did run it, other than the fact that I have a whole lot of hope for it, is the fact that I have seen that it's available in the predictions that I've seen different people, different pundits talk about, and they have said that it's original, so I ran it as original.
The problem is I love the Coen brothers.
Yes.
I marathon their movies all the time.
Yes.
And I just can't get enough of them.
No.
When I read the Inside Llewyn Davis script, I was really disappointed. It's really, really dull.
Yeah.
Maybe they can bring it to life on the screen, but on paper, I think it's going to be a low point for them. But so many people are saying it's going to be like the best movie of the year. So.
And I like you said, I mean, I did think about running Fruitvale Station. It was actually on my list, and I bumped it out at the very last minute. As a matter of fact, I think I replaced it with Nebraska. So I don't know how Fruitvale is going to do. I actually have a little bit more faith in it than I did going in. I really like the movie a lot, and I think that it's going to do something. I don't think it's here, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, you know a lot more than I do. And everyone knows my absolute love for the Walt Disney Company, and hearing Saving Mr. Banks even have it coming out, and it's the director of The Blind Side, which I didn't like, but everyone else seems to mark out for. I mean, you got Tom Hanks as Walt Disney, and you have Emma Thompson as P.L. Travers, and it looks amazing. The stills are out, and it looks like it's going to be a huge contender.
I haven't finished it, but I've been reading the script, and it's
I love the ending of it.
It's very lively.
Yeah, very much so.
The moment, have you read it yet? The whole thing?
I've read bits and pieces of it.
There's this moment where Travers goes into her room, and all these Disney stuffed animals are on her bed, and then there's just this giant Mickey, and they're trying to describe it, and the actual description says, just imagine the biggest stuffed Mickey you can possibly think of. No, think bigger than that.
And that's how Walt works, too. That's how he always has. So, yeah, that's definitely... I'm very, very confident in Blue Jasmine getting a nomination. I really am. I think Woody Allen will definitely get another screenplay nod, without question. Inside Llewyn Davis is probably the one that I'm kind of on the fence about, even though I really have hope for it. Nebraska could go either way. It just kind of depends on how they go with it. I think American Hustle and Saving Mr. Banks are more than set in my list. So...
We're going to go to supporting actor, I think, now.
Sub-actor, according to the list I've got here.
There's a lot of people that could be in here.
Yeah, there is, and I don't know if I picked the right 5.
A couple of them I'm not sure about. A couple, I don't know. I don't know. I'm never confident this early, but...
Supporting actor is your favorite category by and large nearly every single year, because you always have a dog in the race.
Yeah. When I wrote these down, I felt confident, so...
I've got a big dog in the race this year. He's got a mustache.
Alright. I have Daniel Bruhl for Rush.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper for American Hustle.
Okay.
Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. And Mark Ruffalo for Foxcatcher. I don't have much to base this on. This doesn't mean anything for Oscars, but I will say the president of the... I don't know how much this matters, but I just read it somewhere. The president of the Hollywood Foreign Press, which is the Golden Globes, apparently raved huge about Daniel Bruhl and Rush.
So Rush will be huge at the Globes, and that just solidifies that right there.
I keep hearing a lot about the American Hustle guys, Bradley Cooper and Jeremy Renner. Bradley Cooper was my last choice when I was writing these down. Yep. I basically chose Bradley Cooper by default.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did too.
They say this might finally be Fassbender's nomination. he's basically playing a more serious version of Calvin Candy, is to my understanding.
And that's what the trailer looks like too.
Yeah, Ruffle is an interesting case because it was my impression that Foxcatcher was going to be John DuPont shooting Dave Schultz and then the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
But I read the Foxcatcher script, and Dave Schultz is actually a major character, and it doesn't get to the big point until, like, the very end. So, it's a much bigger part than I thought, and it's the, he might be able to get in with the same subtlety he managed to get in with The Kids Are Alright.
It's potentially
because
possible.
His Kids Are Alright part is not showy at all,
no.
But he got in with ease, so I think it might be that kind of role for him again. Not with all the sex or anything.
Understandable.
Or the being stoned, but
yeah.
Regardless. And Jared Leto, obviously, that just...
Oh, yeah.
Cross-dressing AIDS victim. There's a scene, there's a shot in the trailer of him in the hospital. It's going to have it written all over him. But, like I said, I'm not 100% confident in any of these, actually. So, that's what I got with now.
Well, I'm going to start with my... actually, I don't have any particular order for mine. Bradley Cooper was my last pick as well for American Hustle. I am going with Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, and I am kind of confident about that, to be totally honest. After Shame, I think this is actually the time he finally gets his nomination. And I did also go with Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club, and I have no problems in being confident about that. The one you didn't pick is somebody that also has been long deserving of a nomination, and that is John Goodman for The Monuments Men.
Yeah, he's the name I keep hearing get thrown around for the simple fact that with, like, you know, he's been in 2 Best Pictures in a row now, and everybody in the industry loves him. People are just waiting.
It's his time.
People are just waiting for it to happen. He's going to have a banner year with this, and he always has a banner year.
Oh, yeah.
But Inside Llewyn Davis, he's in.
Correct.
And I think there's at least 1 or 2 more things.
He's definitely get... What's your sign for the statue? He's going to get one of these very soon.
But that's the thing. It's just nobody really... You have nothing to base it on because he's barely in the trailer.
True.
It's just people are just waiting for it to happen.
And I, personally, because it's me, I would also nominate Bob Balaban myself, but that's just me.
And you know it's going to happen because that's just the way the Academy rolls. John Goodman's going to have all these great, amazing, wonderful parts, and his nomination's going to come from a nothing role.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. I think my last, obviously it's pretty obvious what my last supporting actor nomination is. It's Tom Hanks for Saving Mr. Banks. I do not see any way that he doesn't walk away with something this year. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to go as high as the Oscar, or go to the Globe, or what it is, or even a BAFTA. But I'll tell you right now, I think Thompson's got the BAFTA in locked, without question. Saving Mr. Banks will probably use the BAFTAs for some odd reason. I think that probably because Emma Thompson's in it. And the story of Mary Poppins, so it makes total sense. So I think right now that he's a lock for me. And unless the movie is like completely panned, and I don't see that being the case, I really think that you're going to see Saving Mr. Banks with a lot, and I do mean a lot, of nominations come Oscar season.
I'm not saying I agree with this, and I'm not saying I think this is what's going to happen. I'm just giving you some hope. If people love Captain Phillips enough, because Captain Phillips comes out in, October.
Correct.
And Saving Mr. Banks is the end of December.
December 20th.
If he
December
has,
13th limited.
If he has enough love for Captain Phillips, that could propel into December.
That's what I think is good. That's exactly why I think Captain Phillips is going to get snubbed and Saving Mr. Banks isn't. I know that may be boneheaded Owen, but that's just how I'm rolling there. So let's go with your least favorite category of the night, sub-actress.
I don't know if I'm alone in this or not. I always feel like this category is so lackluster. Every now and then they have a great performance in there, but for the most part, it's just like they don't care.
A lot of padding just to have a category.
Yeah. All right, I have Naomi Harris for Mandela, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Octavia Spencer for Fruitvale, Meryl Streep for August, Osage County, and Oprah for The Bubbler. Apparently there's some confusion about Meryl Streep.
Okay.
Supposedly she was being pushed in leading.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's pretty much been confirmed she's in supporting.
Okay.
News broke today, maybe she's back in leading. Weinstein does not know what he wants to do.
That worries me, honestly, by saying this in August.
They're going to try to do a Thelma and Louise thing and get her and Roberts in and leading, is what it sounds like.
Actually, yeah.
I don't have too much to base this on.
Nope.
Naomi Harris is getting bigger because she's Moneypenny now.
Yep.
And she was in 28 Days Later, the Brits love her.
Correct. Very well, the Baptist.
And, you know, it just depends on what Mandela could fail miserably.
Yeah, but that's...
But if it succeeds a little bit, and Idris Elba gets enough love, she could probably propel herself in.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is kind of a given. It's David O. Russell has to think about getting people in.
So the Silver Linings Playbook cast,
and she has the tiniest part in the script, but apparently she got her part really beefed up because
she's Jennifer Lawrence.
The original script was called American Bullshit.
Yes.
And David O. Russell took that script and rustled it up, I guess.
Russell sized the script.
Octavia Spencer is a given. Everybody loves her, and she's got two big showy scenes in it. She's got one subtle showy scene and one showy scene. Streep. If all else fails, and you don't know what you're doing, predict Streep.
Yeah.
And Oprah plus Weinstein plus box office equals nomination.
Cha-ching! Statue. I can't do the statue thing.
And plus, a lot of people thought she should have won for The Color Purple, and were pissed off about that. So,
yeah,
that should get a lot of love in her direction. Especially since this movie's basically now being promoted as Oprah Winfrey's The Butler.
Yeah.
If you hadn't noticed. That's mine.
Alright. Now, with you saying that, you've completely shot my confidence down. And I can't change my stuff. You're going to see that I can't change on the fly. I thought about it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that guy. So, my supporting actress nominations are Oprah, obviously, for The Butler. And I guarantee that's going to happen. That's the only lock I think is on this list.
Unless The Butler somehow really, really crashes and burns between now and then.
I think that may be the only thing it gets. I'm going to actually go out on a limb and say
like
that.
Costume design and art.
Oh, no. I mean, like, Born Awards, stuff like that. Yeah, the text, not a problem. But I'm talking about...
The Big Eight.
The Big Eight, exactly. And then, of course, I got Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle. I do also have Meryl Streep for August Osage County. And then I've got what I guess is also referred to as No Guts, No Glory. I'm going to go with my girl, Carey Mulligan, for Inside Llewyn Davis.
It's not out of the question, apparently.
No, and the only reason I put this is because, not just because I'm a fan, and a lot more than that, obviously, as you guys know from seeing these videos. I will say right now that she does have buzz.
Also, a lot of people thought she was snubbed for Shane.
She was.
So.
And she got screwed over with an education. But that's another story altogether.
She's nominated, that's all that matters.
She could have won. And I thought she was going to. Then again, probably wasn't going to happen. But still would have been cool. My real No Guts, No Glory for this year is something that I'm going to call right now. And if it happens, then I'd be like, I told you so. But if it doesn't, then I'll just be like, okay, I'll just go off in the distance there. Don't worry about it. Kind of like the second part of the Celebrity Apprentice review for the final. It's going to go off in the distance, completely forgotten about. It's actually going to be Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine. I'm going to go with that. It's a wild prediction, but I think it could happen.
It's like we were talking about. It's basically what I did with Janet McTeer in 2011. I didn't follow anything in 2011. I wanted everything to be a surprise, so I didn't follow any buzz at all, and I still did predictions.
No precursors or anything. It was a really strange year.
And after I saw Albert Nobbs, I threw her in just because I needed filler.
True.
And for some reason, something kept telling me to keep her in. Mm-hmm. Long before I'd heard anything about her even possibly having buzz. And of course, she got in. So, she was one of those ones that kind of got easily into.
Correct.
One thing really in your favor with that is Woody Allen.
Exactly.
I don't even know how many acting nominations his movies have gotten. It's a lot.
I've got some.
Wins.
Yeah, it's true. Not picking Octavia Spencer, yeah, might not be a good idea, to be honest. The Academy seems to really love her, and she does have a very meaty role. And I do think that I think at this point I have more faith in Fruitvale than I do The Butler, but that may change. I don't know. It just depends. You'll see that from my predictions very soon. But yeah, my 5, I'm not exactly confident. Oprah's definitely winning, most likely. She's at least getting in, and she's going to be a strong force to be reckoned with regardless. But I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how the direction's going to go. I probably will keep Sally Hawkins until I know she's completely out of the running. Jennifer Lawrence most likely is going to be a lock, given the fact that right now she's the it girl. And Meryl Streep is, like you said, when in doubt, pick Streep. And my girl Carrie, obviously, a lot of people said she got snubbed for shame. I do agree. And I don't think Steve McQueen's really going to get anything this year. So that's not going to happen for him. But I think Carrie may walk away with the nomination. So let's go to actress.
Yes. I have Amy Adams for American Hustle, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Emma Thompson for Saving Mr. Banks, and Kate Winslet for Labor Day.
Okay.
As I made it abundantly clear, I think Labor Day is going to make a splash people aren't expecting.
Okay.
It gets a limited run at the last minute to qualify. But the script is so strong, and this character is so strong, and Winslet's such a reliable actress. I think this could propel her to recognition.
Possible.
Everybody's talking about Bullock and Blanchett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about not saying Julia Roberts.
She was actually on my list originally, too, and I had to cut her at the last minute. I bumped her out for my 5th prediction.
Emma Thompson, I wouldn't have thought about until I started reading the script. But I think the character is really going to help her be able to. Because she's won, too, and she was really beloved, like, in the early to mid-90s.
Yeah.
But then since she won her Screenplay Oscar for Sense and Sensibility, she's just kind of stopped being recognized.
This is her chance to break back out again.
And then, but she's been consistently there and loved. It's just not to a big recognition.
That's true.
And lastly, Amy Adams. Amy Adams has 4 nominations, and none of them are in leading yet.
That's true.
And now she's gotten herself back into a David O. Russell movie. And it's a very, very in-your-face part.
Yeah. See that from the trailer.
And lastly, I'd like to point out, I'm not saying this is going to happen, I'm just going to point this out.
Okay.
If these 5 were to happen, I doubt it, I'm just saying, what if? If these 5 were to happen, she'd be the only one nominated in this category that hasn't won yet. People are all over People are already calling Blanchett to win. Blue Jasmine came out in July, and people are just all... I mean, she does really give this big... I would guarantee her nomination, sure.
Oh, without question.
But people are... I think people are a lot more confident than they should be this early. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
People... I mean, it's really unlike people, too, because people tend to have their wits about them, most people. But I've heard so many normally reliable people already saying Blanchett's going to win.
Ooh. You can't say someone's good. Well, you can, because I've done it before, and you've done it before. You can't really say right away that someone's going to win, like, right off the top.
Of course, this is what I was saying about Daniel Day-Lewis last year.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
And what everyone in the world was saying about Christoph Waltz when Bastards came out. All right. Once again, just like before, we are differing on one person on this list. I do not have Kate Winslet running. As a matter of fact, like I said, I do, from what you've told me about it, Labor Day sounds like it's going to be good. But I do think not enough of it that I know in order to give it a nomination. As a matter of fact, I completely stumped Labor Day completely. That may be a disadvantage to me, but that's how Owen rolls, I guess. So, my actress lineup is Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Emma Thompson for Saving Mr. Banks, Amy Adams, of course, for American Hustle, and my last 2 are Sandra Bullock for Gravity, which you actually convinced me to put her in there. Because I had Julia Roberts for August, and then I changed my mind.
You snubbed her too?
I snubbed her too. My final prediction is actually to be Naomi Watts for Diana. which is a very interesting prediction, given the fact that...
it's gotten a horrible reaction so far.
That's what I've heard.
I'd also like to mention that we both snubbed Kidman, and Kidman actually has 2 chances this year, potentially. She's definitely got Grace of Monaco, and there's potential that The Railway Man will come out. And apparently, though, she could be either one of those, but like I said, I don't want to show my bias because she's my favorite actress. But I don't see... I just don't see it for some reason. I think we both might be in trouble not predicting Roberts, but at the same time, maybe we're the only ones that see it.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility.
I don't know.
The thing about it is like, Diana, if I remember correctly, this is the movie that Carrie was supposed to do, right? The Princess Di movie? That she ended up...
It was her and Chastain.
And Jessica Chastain, and then Naomi Watts got the role.
People are mainly complaining Naomi Watts looks nothing like her.
Oh, God.
And it looks like they've done something really bad with the movie. Like, they picked some weird point in her life to go into.
So it's more like a no offense to anyone that are making these movies, but like more like an HBO film instead of an actual theatrical release.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm not trying to disrespect anyone in HBO.
And the ones that don't get Emmy nominations based on greatness, they get it based on why not? It's a biopic.
Yeah. Yeah, that may be a bad idea in the long run. We'll see. It's August. I still got another month to change my predictions. That could happen. Who knows? Probably will now. So, AJ, Best Actor.
I heard an interesting argument about Best Actor.
Okay.
And I committed something that somebody said would never happen.
Category fraud?
And I think, nah.
Okay.
I think it's a weird thing to say, but I don't know if they have a point or not.
Okay.
This isn't necessarily based on this person or me. It's based on the Academy and what some people, a certain R word, people think the Academy might be.
Okay.
I will also like to bring up somebody I will noticeably have left out, and I'll bring that up.
I have a couple of those myself, and I feel really bad about a couple of them.
Mine are Bruce Dern for Nebraska.
Okay.
Idris Elba for Mandela.
Okay.
Tom Hanks for Captain Phillips.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan for Fruitvale.
Okay.
And Forrest Whitaker for The Butler. The thing I'm talking about somebody saying is there's no possible way 3 black actors get in.
Ooh, wow.
You also notice I have 3 black actresses and supporting actress.
Yeah.
Is this that time that could happen? Because here's the thing.
I hate to go there.
This is the problem, though, and this happens every year. Every year, people base their predictions on statistics, and every year statistics are broken.
Especially last year.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis as well
Definitely.
say, fuck statistics, we can win as many as we need to.
Very true.
I did not run Robert Redford. A lot of people say Robert Redford is the biggest lock of the year. I'm not running him.
We'll find out in a minute what I believe.
I felt the need to choose between the veteran actors.
And Bruce Dern?
I don't see Bruce Dern and him getting in.
Ooh.
Bruce Dern took Cannes, which is not necessarily a good precursor but for Oscars, but he's very well respected. I mean, Robert Redford is Robert Redford, of course.
He created Sundance.
And the movie stars him and only him.
Yes.
But I really feel if Bruce Dern's going to get in, which I think is obvious, I don't see the both of them for some... I don't know why. I just can't see the both of them happening.
Ooh.
Everything else is pretty much obvious. I think the Hanks love is going to go to Captain Phillips. And it's definitely... He has to be nominated this year because he hasn't been... He's hugely respected and most people in the industry love him. People, fucking hipsters on the internet don't like him, but...
Yeah.
I know that's generalization, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm probably talking directly to a couple of you.
Click.
He has not been nominated since Castaway.
Correct.
13 years ago.
For anything?
And it has to happen. And I thought he was really good in Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. And a lot of people say his involvement in Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close might have had a lot to do with the picture nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I liked him in Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
Cloud Atlas is an amazing movie that most people completely glossed over.
So... It's definitely time for his return. It's just a matter of which one, and I'm really thinking it's Captain Phillips.
Well, we are definitely, and I mean definitely, differing on this one.
Oh, I'd also like to bring up an interview that Bruce Dern did about his category placement.
Got it.
Obviously, there was a big debate on which one he was going in, because he was in supporting forever, and they said, oh man, he's got it. He's going to win, Christopher Plummer style. But they're pushing him leading.
Good, because I don't want Hanks to lose.
And he was at the film festival that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Where they're playing Nebraska.
Right on.
And in an interview, they asked him about going leading instead of supporting. And his basic word, there was a fuck in there somewhere. He said the word fuck, so he's very passionate about this. Basically, it was, he's been a character actor on the sidelines forever. And he said, with his leading role in the movie, he said it's great to be in a leading role and acknowledged for being in a leading role.
Correct.
And if somebody being in the movie less than 2 minutes more than him means he's supporting, that's not happening.
Wow.
So he's definitely going on this leading campaign.
Okay. One notable elimination that I had to do, I did not nominate Chiwetel. I thought about it.
Yeah, he's getting, those reviews that came out today are raving him, but...
I thought about it.
Here's, I gotta say something.
Go ahead.
Let's bring this up. If I would have had to replace, say, Tom Hanks with him, can you imagine how that one guy would feel if I ran 4 black actors and 1 old veteran?
Wow. Everyone knows here, I'm not the R word whatsoever. At all. At all.
You can say racist.
Oh, I thought that's what you were looking at. Anyway, I'm definitely not racist whatsoever. It's like Ferris Bueller is with isms. I'm like that with is. So, I will say that I only ran 1.
A black guy?
Yeah. Idris Elba was one of the ones that I was thinking about running, and I put him on the chopping block. And that may end up being my big mistake. I really wanted to run both Idris Elba and Forrest Whitaker, and I couldn't. Because, darn it, I want to see some of these people get Best Actor nominations, and they actually have buzz, so I'm going to go with my list. My Best Actor nomination is Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street, Michael B. Jordan for Fruitvale Station, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Robert Redford for All Is Love, and Lost. Long Day. I told you I wouldn't remember.
What was the last one?
My last one is Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. It was hard to snub a lot of those guys for me. Well, here's the thing about Leo.
I know what you're going to say.
Something is off. Here's the thing, though. I read the book for The Wolf of Wall Street written by Jordan Belfort. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of like his motivational speaking or interviews. Okay. And that dude is larger than life. And I was really worried about what DiCaprio was going to do. But the trailer is very accurate.
Okay.
He's got the voice, and he's got the hyperactive things going on.
True.
But something is off. He was destined to get in for J. Edgar. He had all the precursors, and nothing happened. And him getting thrown off the Django train in favor of Waltz, who had just won 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with the DiCaprio train.
Maybe this is going to get it back on the track. I mean, maybe not, but maybe this will get it back on it. And I hope it does. Because DiCaprio is a great actor, and he does not get enough credit for it. I mean, he does, but he doesn't get the credit where it truly counts. I guess that's the best way to put it. I was really, battling with bringing up Michael B. Jordan and running him at all, but the more I think about it, the more I think that I think it's probably more of a certainty now.
To use a tasteless pun, it took you a while to get you on the Michael B. Jordan train.
Yeah. Don't want to be on that train. But I'm on that train because I really enjoyed Fruitvale, and I very much would like to see a nomination for Michael B. Jordan. But there's so many things that could possibly be stopping in his path. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people I did not nominate. I'm not thinking about it, but actually this is probably giving you a little indication about my predictions for next month. I actually thought about somebody I can replace Naomi Watts with, and I probably will do that when I get my predictions. I actually was thinking about it as you were talking, so.
You're not going to say that right now.
Actually, I am. I probably am going to run Reese Witherspoon for a Devil's Knot.
Depending on its release date.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll run if it goes the right direction. Bruce Dern, everything that I have read has said that Bruce Dern and Robert Redford are both like in. They're in, guaranteed. But obviously you can't guarantee anything in August. I mean, you can guarantee it's a movie that's coming out later this year. But you can't guarantee anything in the month of August that is going to happen. Like, there's no guarantees right now. Oprah. She's probably the only guarantee. As weird as it is to say, she's the only guarantee I can think of off the top of my head. And, you know, I'll tell you right now, with my impersonations aside, I've really become a huge fan of Matthew McConaughey's work. And I actually read, Awards Daily was actually predicting him for Mud, to be totally honest, in this category. And I am running him for the Dallas Buyers Club. And it might be a very, like, bold prediction, but I'm still going to go with it.
I might have made a bad decision in not nominating him. The problem, there's a lot of wishful thinking predictions for Mud and The Place Beyond the Pines.
Correct.
That aren't going to happen.
Very much correct. Not in the Oscars. Where
apparently, The Place Beyond the Pines was actually the first movie to send out screeners.
Interesting. Did not know that. So yeah, my McConaughey love is going to lead, hopefully, to a nomination for him. I loved him in Magic Mike. I mean, anything I've seen McConaughey in has been really great. So he's great in Killer Joe. So, I mean, a role that could have gotten nominations that didn't because it was too risque of subject matter for
Awards.
The Academy Award, for the Academy. Yeah. Spirit Awards obviously did credit it, but that was about it.
He got in for both.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see that actually.
He won for Magic Mike.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, and I became a big Soderbergh fan with that movie too. But yeah, I really think that McConaughey is not a lock, not by any means. I think that McConaughey will hopefully get in. I'd like to see him get in. And when the Dallas Buyers Club comes out, I really think there's going to be some buzz coming his way. So, we're down to the last two, and this is the one that I know for a fact was absolutely excruciating on you.
Oh, another thing that helped McConaughey is they actually bumped Dallas Buyers Club's date up. It was going to be the first week of December, and it's actually usually a pretty bad idea to be released in December because you get mushed in with everything. November is probably the best place to be in award season, if I had to guess. And it's the first week in November now. So.
When was The Blind Side released?
The last week of November.
So it was around the last week of November, the first week of December.
I don't know why I remember this. I really don't know why I remember this. It came out the same day as New Moon. So it would have been the end of November, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, Best Director. And who did you have to bump out of your lineup?
I have the movie I think is going to be the big breakout movie, because there's always a big breakout movie. Ryan Coogler for Fruitvale Station.
Mm-hmm.
Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity. Ron Howard for Rush, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, and David O. Russell for American Hustle.
Okay.
American Russell.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call him throughout this award season.
I made a mistake here, probably. Usually, when your movie makes it in the Best Director, that means you more than likely probably made it in the top 5. Correct. Not always, but you have a very good chance.
Good point.
In picture, I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't run Nebraska for Screenplay. I probably should have done that. If I'm going to be running Payne in Director. Because if Payne gets in Director, which I think he will, because it's a very beloved director, really loved by the Academy, doing a fucking black and white movie.
Yeah. Very true.
I know that doesn't happen all the time, but I mean, it's Alexander Payne doing a black and white movie.
I know what you're referencing.
What am I referencing?
Talking about a black and white movie.
Oh, fuck that. No, I mean,
Hey, show up Buzz too.
I know, okay, the black and white movie happens a lot, but I'm specifically Alexander Payne.
Correct.
Doing a black and white movie. He's back in the road trip genre, too, apparently, after Sideways.
I love Sideways.
So how well that went. So.
Sideways is amazing.
Not for Paul Giamatti, but for the movie itself and everybody else.
Snubbed. I'll say that to my dying day.
Alright.
Who did you have to snub in order that you felt really bad that also could be potential.
There's Jason Reitman.
I'm very shocked, to be totally honest, you did not nominate him, because you are very heavy on Labor Day right now.
I was thinking about Paul Greengrass. I was thinking about Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Shit happens. I don't really have much to add to what I'm talking about. I think Quaron is pretty obvious. David O. Russell has got that. This movie is American Hustle is just going to be this... American Hustle is going to be one of those movies that oozes awesome.
It looks amazing.
And it's going to definitely be a Russell movie, for sure.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, people.
And I think... Okay, I'm jumping the gun here. I'm just saying this just for argument's sake, just to, have a discussion going, I guess.
Okay.
And apparently a lot of people feel the same way. If somebody pulled me into an alley, it's an interesting scenario. Somebody pulled me into an alley, put a gun right in my face and said, "What's going to win Best Picture for 2013?" I'd probably say American Hustle.
That's interesting.
Just off the top of my head. Just as a go-to. I don't know what's making me say that. That's just what I would say. If put under that stress.
It's very, very interesting you'd say that.
So, yeah.
Well, compared to yours, which are very bold and gutsy, and have a lot of precursors to go with, like a lot of pre-buzz that we've heard from different movies, mine's kind of safe, pretty much. I have the Coen brothers for Inside Llewyn Davis. I have Martin Scorsese for Wolf of Wall Street. I have Alexander Payne for Nebraska. I do have David O. Russell for American Hustle. And yes, I do have John Lee Hancock for Saving Mr. Banks. That may be, like I said, I'm going to ride, just like in real life, I'm going to ride the Disney train all the way to the Academy Awards. Until still something happens and maybe people see it, they don't like it, then I may have to tone it down a little bit. But at this moment, I have seen that it is possible this could happen. I have seen people predict Hancock. And I'm not talking about people, they're talking about their favorite Will Smith movie. I'm seeing people that have actually predicted Hancock in the director race. That's the reason I ran him. And I have a lot of faith in Saving Mr. Banks is going to take home a lot of nominations. And why not?
Something just crossed my mind.
Go ahead.
Like I said, I know statistics are broken every year.
And not running Lee Daniels and Woody Allen might have been hard for me, too.
Yeah, speaking of Lee Daniels, too. Like I said, statistics don't matter. Statistics are broken every year. It doesn't matter. But this specifically is going through my head.
Okay.
Is Ryan Coogler white? I have no idea what he looks like.
I don't know who he is. I've never seen him.
Well, here's the thing. We'll go back to Lee Daniels. We'll use Lee Daniels as an example because I'm really not sure about Ryan Coogler. I've never seen him.
Okay.
A black director has been nominated for an Oscar twice. Singleton for Boys in the Hood and Lee Daniels for Precious. That's
True.
it.
That's right.
It makes me iffy on choosing black directors to predict.
If you notice my list, I'm very safe in my predictions.
I need to track down a picture of Ryan Coogler and I'll get back to you on this.
Very nice.
He could be either one. Craig Brewer was white. I would have never guessed that.
I have never seen John Lee Hancock before either.
He probably looks like, I don't want to say.
A teacher of some sort.
Sure.
We'll go with that. That's the best way to put it without going anywhere.
Alright, good. We can do this under an hour.
Maybe. Oh God, Best Picture. And the magic number that we've pretty much figured out is going to be 9. So
now that we're predicting that, it probably won't be.
If there is 10, do you have something? You have something you can toss in there as well?
Oh, probably.
But we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about 9 until we know the actual magic number, and then we'll predict whatever it is.
All right.
We're going to differ a lot on this, I got a feeling.
Some of these are off when you look at my other nominations because they don't add up, but...
At Tech Awards.
Yeah.
Stuff like that could build to other things as well.
Alright, my picture nominees are 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, August Osage County, Captain Phillips, Fruitvale Station, Gravity, Labor Day, Nebraska, and Rush.
They differ in 4 movies. My picture nominees are The Monuments Men, August Osage County, Inside Llewyn Davis, Saving Mr. Banks, Nebraska, The Wolf of Wall Street, 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Fruitvale Station, and that would be my 9.
We both totally snubbed a few things.
Did not run The Butler, and I really thought about it. I did not run Labor Day, which then may be my undoing. I did not run Gravity, which may have been a bad idea in the long run. I did not run Captain Phillips. I did not run Rush.
I guess we'll see what happens over the next what happens over the next month before we do this again.
Because I will be relaxed and very happy by the time you see me again.
You see what I was talking about? You were all, most of these are going to be solidified, but that's not the case when you do this at all.
Well, yeah, but there's a couple of these that I think will probably last the test of the entire season. Like, as much as I hate to throw this as the option.
Yeah, the odds are in their favor, but I mean...
The odds are never in their favor.
Apparently the odds are ever in Jennifer Lawrence's favor.
Yes, they are. That is correct. But yeah, like I said, I mean, we differ a lot on these predictions. And you may agree with us, you may agree with me, you may agree with AJ, you may not agree with either one of us. You may have your own ideas, or you may think that Blue Jasmine's going to run for Best Picture. And, you know, honestly, I thought about it. I thought about running it, but this isn't Midnight in Paris.
There's also a lot to talk about Before Midnight.
You know, I completely snubbed Before Midnight. I thought about it. Screenplay.
I really struggled not putting it in adapted screenplay.
Yeah, screenplay is what I would have put it in as well. And like, there's also stuff that people are not thinking of too. Like The Counselor. Like running The Counselor for anything might not be a bad idea too, but it may come out a little too early. There's no animated movies that are going to make a splash in picture this year, so we don't have to worry about that. Because we haven't really been doing very well with animated movies this year, to say the least.
When The Croods is the best animated movie of the year so far, something's wrong. I mean, The Croods is perfectly fine. It's just...
And it probably will get... I say it gets the Paranorman nomination. It actually does get into animated. Paranorman and Coraline, and how the ones that you wouldn't think would get in actually got in. The nomination that got in that was really early in the year.
Paranorman was August.
Coraline was early in the year. It was like
Coraline was February.
That's what I'm talking about. Is
Coraline was the first week of February.
I don't know how stuff like I think Cloudy will probably end up getting in.
Pretty much anything that gets an animated is by default.
Frozen looks good.
I don't know. We've only seen a teaser.
I like the first trailer for Cloudy. I like the original Cloudy anyway. So yeah, but we're not talking about like animated or documentary or anything like that. Foreign movies. We could. But, I mean, we don't have that much time, so yeah. We'll give our opinions on those on another time.
It's not that we...
we could, easily.
Let's be honest. It's not that we don't have time. It's that we don't fucking know.
Yeah, there's animated... But, like, who knew what Chico and Rita and A Cat in Paris was? There's probably some J-Bro on this that has... Well, look at me right now, hi. That sitting there is like, I knew it was going to happen from day one. It's like, okay, fine. Congratulations to you, sir. Or madam. But the thing about it is that you just don't know. You don't know what's going to run. Like... Look at documentaries over the past several years. I mean, there's been things that were locks that just got completely snubbed at the Oscar. Waiting for Superman, Exit Through the Gift Shop. These are things that look.
The Gift Shop got in.
It got in, but it didn't win. And it looked like it was going to win if you look at precursors. Waiting for Superman got completely snubbed. Which I hope that doesn't happen to Blackfish this year. I don't think it will. So, that is our predictions for August. And we will be joining you again on... sometime in the beginning of October, actually. That's going to be the September video. And then at the end of October, we'll have the October video. Then the end of November, the end of December. And then we're actually going to start getting into talking about the BAFTAs, talking about the Spirit Awards, talking about the SAGs, talking about the Golden Globes, talking about everything under the sun with the award season. So we follow everything. You can continue to watch that. And that's going to be the end of that. So, AJ, any parting remarks?
Nope.
So, until October, we'll be seeing you.